G'day, I'm Simulated Irk, and hopefully this time you can hear me. Technology is great when when it works, but when it doesn't work, well, it gets rather annoying. Welcome back to Train Simulator 2017, Simulated Irk style. And today we're going to take you for what I'm describing as a Clayton's London Underground trip. We're going to go for a quick drive, and let me tell you a little bit about what's going on. We found a 1938 stock London Underground train in the London Transport Heritage route that you can newly purchase from the Train Simulator website. And we're going to go for a trip because until recently I thought when this pack came out, oh, this is a good way for me to actually drive something that was on the London Underground, because there's not a lot out there that is for London Underground. There's a lot for North London and South London and regionals and all of that sort of stuff, but when it comes to actual London Underground, there's not a lot. Train Sim World, seeing it there on the screen, and also high-speed trains in China. But we're going to go back in time from these things, and even the things on the screen now. And we're going to go way back in time, 1938 stock. Now where we're going is a fictional route. That's probably next on my list, the North London and Goblin line. So this is our 1938 stock London Transport London train out. And here it is. This is at a fictional station called Vindelli's. And check it out. For a fictional made up station, let me just zoom in and have a look. Now there's the train. Now they've made it fictional, but you could also believe that they could run services today on it. There's the train. Now I've set it for snow, and if we go for a walk down the back and have a look at, we'll try and stay inside the station. There's our driver. He looks keen and eager and ready. So we'll go for a walk down to the other end. This station is very well done. Not letting me load and unload passengers for some reason. Our marker lights are okay at the back. So let's go up the front, have a look in the cab first of all. We've got plenty of time. This is on free drive mode, so who really cares? Ye oldie time controls, which you'd expect. And we'll have a look inside the passenger compartment before we take off. Just check out the amount of detail. Like that London bus driver advertisement. Take a great future in both hands as a bus driver. Good pay, job security, first class training, and for men and women. Free travel on London Transport, bus and train services. And there's a map for the Northern Line on the tube, from High Barnet and Edgware through Camden Road, through central London, and then out the other side, Oval, Clapham, Tooting Bec, South Wimbledon and Morden. Down to the no smoking signs. And how good does this look from the inside? Right, so let's jump back in the cab. We'll see if it's going to let us load and unload again. I doubt it. Alright, in that case, let's go. So I thought this way was going to be the only way that I can drive something that would have been on London Underground, on the tube. And you can see the rather low tube profile. 25 miles an hour out of here. We'll go for a scenic look now. Now it doesn't really matter where I'm going or how I'm going because I'm on quick drive mode, which you can drive this train in quick drive. It's no problem on this fictional track. So we'll just let it run and we'll pick up a little bit of speed. And I've got to say, the amount of detail on this fictional route. There's also some steam involved in this as well, but I haven't looked into the steam side of things yet. So this is my second attempt at doing this. My first attempt I had some audio issues, so I had to scrap the lot and come back and start again. So a little bit of practice, which is all good. And as we saw earlier, they do have other trains running as well. So you can run this in standard or career mode as well. But just for the purposes of this video, I'm just running it in quick drive. So when this pack came out earlier this week, mid-May as it's almost mid-May as I'm recording this. I thought, cool, get to drive something that was on the London Underground. And then in a minute, I'll just get to a station and then I'll stop. Then I found another way to drive a train of a similar era using a different pack in a different colour scheme, which is also cool. And on the next episode coming up after this, episode 27, there is actually a way that you can drive a proper London Underground train on a proper London Underground track. But that's for the next episode. And also after we have a drive of another train, I'll also show you how to drive this train in London itself. Now it might not be authentic, but we'll see how we go. Now all the sounds sound good. Bit of horn. Now sadly, there seems to be no way to put those white lights on the front. The amount of modelling that's gone into a fictional piece of track is quite good. Now we've got our Next station coming up, Spinsweet Harbour. So we'll stop there. So we'll shut off there. We'll jump back in the cab, start putting some brake on, put the wipers on, take the brakes off. I just want to slow the train down, and the brakes do a good job of that. 0.2 of a mile to go. Should be able to see the station shortly. Just around the corner now. I don't know all these signals. I'm presuming that's some sort of landmark. There's the station. Maybe I was a bit hasty on the brakes there. Now, I've never actually in real life driven anything this old, so we've arrived at our next station. It has let us open the doors this time. Here we go. Spinsweet Harbour. That wiper's quite loud. There we go, so I'll kill that. Doors will close in a second, and if we were going to take off, well, we'd take off. But we're not going to. So we'll get out of here. And actually this screen shows you what's actually coming up. So we're going to drive a different train over the same route. I just need to find it. About 11 pages of locos and different trains. Here we go. So what we're about to drive now, this is from the Isle of Wight pack, and they're now called the Class 483. Originally working in London around about the same era as the 1938 stock. However, they've been extensively renovated and are seeing service on the Isle of Wight now. And it's part of the Isle of Wight pack, although I'm driving it on the London Transport Heritage route, which of course is fictional at the moment. So we'll do the same procedure from the same stations. Actually, I might change it. We're left from Spinsweet Harbour, and we'll head towards Breakwater Dock still, but with a different train. Now you can have the London Transport version as well, but we'll go with the Network Southeast, a little bit different colour, and you can run these in 2 or 4 car sets, or 2 or 4 car trains. So let's go for a drive. We're going to continue on our fictional route, and then after this we're going to drive both of these trains in London, even though it might not necessarily be authentic. Train Sim World's out now. I've played it a little bit, fairly similar to the beta episodes, the beta game. High Speed China Rail, yeah, it's alright. We've spent some extensive time in Chengdu for our high speed challenge. Hope you enjoyed those on the last episode. So here we are, Breakwater Docks. Now we'll put our, well, load and unload, and we'll put our lights on. Now these lights at the front actually work. Now that's interesting, because last time I played this game it had a different destination on the front. So that's cool. We'll go in and have a look at the cab. And the cab's a little bit more modern. Oh, load and unload passengers again. It's a little bit more modern than the 38 stock, but not much. They have been refurbished and whatnot. And then we'll go in the passenger compartment. Here we are. And there's actually a guy sitting there. Hey guy. Now these trains are used in Isle of Wight, and so they've got the what I presume is the Isle of Wight network map. And there comes the 38 stocking. There's another guy. She just walked through an open door. So we'll go outside. Our doors are actually open, even though they weren't open on the animation. Little bit of horn. And we're off. So it looks a little bit more modern than the 38 stock that we were just driving. But again, this is still the fictional route. But I'm glad on this one that you can actually see the white light at the front. Whoops, we're speeding. Okay, we'll get back in the cab. The station is coming up. Let's look forward. Wiper on. Help those playing along at home. Station's about 0.2 of a mile away. There it is. And we've only got a 4-car train this time, so that will be a good stop actually. Right near the bridge. Load and unload passengers only. And here we are at Breakwater Docks. I'll turn that wiper off because it's quite loud. So this is using the Isle of Wight pack, which you can get via Train Simulator as well. So yeah, that's cool. Alright, so while we're here, we're going to change track, so to speak, and we're going to go on the South London network. And I think to go on the South London or the... Go London Bridge. Alright, so we're going to depart London Victoria and head to London Bridge using the same train that we were just using from the Isle of Wight, the class 483. Now, of course, this isn't going to be real because these trains wouldn't have necessarily operated in the area that I'm sending them to. But just to give you an idea of getting a London Underground type train into London on Train Simulator, purchasing it, going via Train Simulator is possible, even if it's not 100% authentic and not 100% modern. What we'll see on the next episode is what can happen if you're prepared to download and manually install some stock onto the district line of the London Underground, and let me tell you, it looks fantastic. And I'm so glad that you can actually do it now. So here we go, we've just got the road. It says we're going to Clapham Junction for some reason, but who cares? We'll put our lights on. Now that's not really helpful. No, of is that. Now our train's under there somewhere. We'll turn our front light on. How's that for an interior view? London, Victoria. That view's not going to help us much. Neither is that one. So we'll go back to our cab. And we'll blow a bit of horn. Forward. Bit of bump. There's our doors. And we're off. So we're departing platform 9, Victoria. A slow exit. There we go. Yeah, that's it. Now, one thing about adding snow to the equation is that it makes it look a little bit older too. So while these trains might not have necessarily have run in this area, it looks a little bit more authentic, and we'll see, especially what I mean about that with the 1938 stock next time on the next run. But this looks rather fine, I do have to say, even though it's an older train than I've ever driven. You could picture this in the right circumstances running around London on a rail fan tour or something like that, as an example. So we'll go for a bit of a scenic tour now. Check that out. Alright, 45. Let's crank it up. We've got about 2 miles to go before Clapham Junction. Oh, that's not particularly helpful. No. There we go. We'll shut off now. We're going a bit hot. So what I will do, I will put information on the show notes at simulatedurk.com. It'll be episode 26 of Train Simulator. And I'll put the information of the 2 packs that we've been using on this episode. It'll actually be 3 packs because I'm using the South London route and the 2 trains from the 2 different train packs. So if you want to drive these trains yourself, you can, and these are easily obtainable from the shop within Train Simulator. Alright, Clapham Junction coming up. Rather quickly. That's good because we have a 20 board coming up anyway, so we'll just casually go onto the platform. And we've only got a 4-car train, so we'll stop here just near the lift. And there's our train, of course. Under normal circumstances this would be more like a London Overground train, but here we are at platform 15 at Clapham Junction. Okay, I have reached the end of that scenario. And we'll change the scenario. We'll go back to the uh, 38 stock. Where are you? I've got so many trains that I haven't really driven much yet. Oh, here we go. London Underground 1938 stock. We'll run the 4-car train and we'll go on the South London network again. Oh, we'll go North London this time. And we'll go... Where will we go? We'll go from Camden Road and we'll go to Willesden Junction because I've actually been there. I've got on and off heaps of trains there, so we'll do that. Even though this isn't necessarily historically accurate, you can do it. And on the next episode, you'll be able to see me driving actual London Underground trains on an actual London Underground route. Now that's a little bit more technical. So of course, if you'd like to check out previous episodes, for instance, you can check out the times that I've driven on London Overground at simulateddirect.com. You can do that. That's doable. Certainly is doable. Glad to be back making train videos. Won't be doing regular train videos, but we'll give it a go. See how we go. Okay, there we go. Come in, young lady. Because of the narrow profile, even people who aren't super tall look super tall when they get in and out of these trains. We'll unload and load again. Here we go. Come in, young lady. There we go. Which is interesting because there's not actually an entrance that way. They're just being morphed in. Oh, this must be Willesden. Yeah, this is Willesden Junction. I've gone around the wrong way. So we're heading to Camden Road. Where I was staying in London in 2014, there was lots of different options. I was close to the Bakerloo line if I called a bus. I was close to the Northern line. I was close to London Overground. So I had lots of different ways to get around the place. That was rather cool. So of course these trains wouldn't work here because these are tube trains that run on 3rd or 4th rail, whereas it's all overhead wires around here. But I'm driving a London Underground train in London, and of course, well, you can do things that you normally wouldn't do. Now, as you've seen when I've been going through the different menu screens, I've certainly got a lot of different trains to choose from. Got a lot of different trains to choose from. Might stay in England for a little bit longer. Have a look at some of the regional trains, some of the high-speed trains that I haven't featured yet. But this is certainly cool. If you like me and you like the tube, and there's lots of places in the tube anyway that are very historic. Yes, the only thing I wish I could do, and maybe it is possible, but I just don't know how to do it yet, is to put white lights on the front. No, that's not going to do it. Now oh, we're actually in a tunnel now, so I probably should get back in the cab. Or we're coming up to a tunnel. Oh, here comes another train. Now that's what runs around here. The brakes were too efficient on that occasion. Here we are at Hampstead Heath, and I'll get off here. And that's pretty much what it looked like when you're actually there. So I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I'm Simulated Irk. Find me at Simulated Irk on Twitter, although I'm more often than not tweeting about non-train simulatory things at IrkPod. And also find me at simulatedIrk.com, previous episodes and the like. Till next time, I'm Simulated Irk. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And on the next episode, the real London Underground on the District Line.